Bless up, this is King Kevin in the building. This video here is, I'm recording for YouTube. Facebook is live and Instagram is live. Of course, my website is kevindorival.com. And I'm an author, mentor, and filmmaker. Now, I want to talk about something that's definitely a serious matter. Something that we need to actually pay attention to and not just brush it aside. Our country today is facing a moral decline. And within the black community, we are having a culture decline as well. As far as our traditions, what we hold at value, and what is important and what isn't important. It could be a matter of just economic recession. It could be a matter of just not caring, but why? Why are we in a economic, moral, and cultural decline? Many of you may not know it, but the #1 fastest growing population of suicide is young black males. And this is something that I just can't, leave alone and not say nothing about. And anyone of you who have followed me over the years, for the past 4 years, or my team, Courage to Believe International, which is my 501c3 nonprofit organization, we host the annual Black on Black Crime Solutions panel. This year would have been our 5th one, which we would have had it had I have not moved here to Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm here to Atlanta to expand my empire and to continually empower our people. Not that I'm anti-white, anti-Hispanic, or anti-Asian. I just happen to love my culture and want to see my culture grow, especially in the situation that we are in right now. You look at social media anywhere, you see a lot of women fighting for attention, showing all kind of body parts, showing off, literally showing their clit, literally, their nipples, showing just things that only their man should be seeing, only their king should be seeing. You have men showing all kind of body parts as well, things that only their woman should be seeing, or their mama should be seeing, taking care of them if they were sick. So I definitely wanted to discuss whether or not, what you guys think, which is the title of this video, which is, what do you think is the bigger issue in the black community right now that needs to be addressed? Is it that the lack of love for one another, lack of love and support, or the black on black violence? Just recently, I watched a video and read an article as well about the Democratic Congo. Democratic Congo, back in the day, you're talking about 1878 to early 1900s. I want to say 1905, where King Tadpole, I call King Leopold, what he did was he started the foundations for black on black crime. Just like what Willie Lynch did with the letters and showing the slave masters how to enslave black folks, how to get us to fall in line with whatever they wanted us to do. King Leopold did the same thing, but way before Mr. Willie Lynch. Now with King Leopold, what he was able to accomplish was to literally annihilate more than half the population of Democratic Congo. The population had to have been up in the 20-30 millions. He left it about 8 million people alive and killed, they say, anywhere from 15 million to 20 million Africans in the Congo. Not only that, he was able to use the Congolese to kill each other by giving power over one group of people to enslave and mutilate another group of people with guns. And I mean, the travesty is not the nature of this video, which I definitely, one day I'm going to do a video on this subject itself. Someone wanted to get on the camera with me, Mr. Ardeli and Sabrina. Hey, what's going on, y'all? On Facebook, what's popping? Say, hey, what's up? Now, I feel that the lack of love causes much of the violence. Boss Lady NY for life, you're definitely right about that. Now with Mr. King Leopold, what he was able to do was use the Democratic Congo as his own backyard. He caused the people that hate each other by giving one group of men bullets and forced them to kill the others who didn't produce enough rubber. At the time, rubber was in great demand because tires for cars, the manufacturing company needed rubber. They didn't have any rubber. And places who had rubber didn't have enough, like places in Asia. But the Democratic Congo had these vine trees that had plenty of the rubber. Mind you, when cars first started back in the early 1900s, you know, the car manufacturing companies, you know, was in high demand. People wanted cars. They had to get around the countries. And so King Leopold ended up getting a good deal from these car manufacturing companies. I'm not going to say the names because I'm not really sure which ones. So it's not right for me to say the names, even though I can assume which ones it was. Like Ford was around at the time, Chevrolet, and different companies. But what was happening is that if they did not produce enough of the rubber, if each person did not produce a certain amount of ounces of rubber per day, let's say it was 10 ounces a day, they would literally get their hands chopped off. And if they didn't chop off their hands, they chopped off the hands of their children, which were infants. You can see pictures online. There's pictures of infants getting their hands cut off. And also they women. As a matter of fact, the women were being caged. You know, they were being kidnapped. And if their husbands did not produce enough of the rubber, which was very heavy labor work. I mean, it was very arduous work getting these rubber vines of these tall trees. People were always falling off these trees, these vines. I don't care how good of a climber you are. Anybody can slip on a leaf or something wet on the tree and fall and crack their backs and crack their head and die. So this was very labor-intensive work. It was actually deadly work. Now the reason why I'm saying this is because this was the roots. You have to check me out. I definitely want to make a video about King Leopold. I'm going to write about him in my next book called 7 Types of Kings, Queen's Desire. And the chapter that he's going to fall in is the evil king, which was one of the most evilest rulers ever on the planet Earth. And you have to ask yourself, why have we never heard about this particular king? Think about it. If Hitler was the devil, King Leopold was the devil's father. You feel what I'm saying? That's how greedy, rapacious attitude this individual had. Now, what I want you guys to definitely get an understanding of is that we all must understand that we must continue to fight. Fight for our freedom and fight for our people. And now, someone's calling me right now. Video. All right, perfect. So, how to take care of that? We definitely have to put on the fight for our people because he taught the Europeans and the world how to set up black folks. He not even knowing that he was doing this inadvertently. You know, he was able to create this foundation on how to get us to hate and destroy one another. You follow what I'm saying? And then Willie Lynch took that, took what he learned from King Leopold and Hitler and applied that in the letters that we are still suffering from today. Now I say, like Sister from New York said, that it's the lack of love that causes us the violence, which is perfect. You know, if you watch my videos or read some of my work, I always mention a gentleman named Dr. Amos Wilson, who wrote a book called Black on Black Violence, Black Self-Annihilation in Service of White Domination. This is literally the title of that book. It changed my life, which made me want to start the Black on Black Crime Solutions panel, which I thank you all for supporting us for so many years. Most of the funding to actually host that program came from my pocket and our board members. People like Kathleen Fabe, rest in peace. People like Daniel Bartholomew, Rosin, Aurelius, Gary Pierre, thank you all. David Miller, thank you for your support. You guys know who you are, and all the panelists who just was part of the whole movement from day one. Now, why am I bringing this up? Right now in the black community, there's estimated about 700,000 deaths since 1960. Roughly a little over 700,000 deaths within the black community, meaning black folks killing one another, black women and men killing one another, majority black males wiping each other out. Why is that? Why is that self-annihilation? Why is that self-hatred so prevalent within our community? What is it that causes us to want to hate the other person or to despise and not want to see them grow. We'll trust the words of a white man or woman before we'll trust the words of an educated black man or black woman. Think about that. Why is that? That's from the plantation era. A lot of us have the mindset, oh, that's the plantation days. That has nothing to do with us today. You know what I'm saying? That was a long time ago. False. Those implications, those tragedies, those traumatic experiences still operates within us today. Just like the victories of our ancestors, Toussaint Louverture, Queen Nzinga, King Taharka, Queen Hatshepsut, Queen Nefertari, Queen Nefertiti, King Akhenaten, Shaka Zulu, King Shaka Zulu. The word kingdoms of the Western Africa, the Homi tribes, you name it, the Mali warriors. The soldiers up there in Jamaica, you know what I'm saying? Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, those, George Washington Carver. All these names that I'm mentioning, their successes and failures are still within our mindsets and DNA today. Just like those pains, all those thousands of women and men who are hanged, beaten to death. Emmett Till is another example. Those things are like ripples in the pond, and the reflections, the ripple still continues to the day. So it's a matter of us having the consciousness to choose which memory we want to tap into, which powers we want to tap into. More importantly, what spirit we want to tap into. Now, most of the homes in the black community are run by single mothers. I repeat that again. Most of the homes within the black community today for the past 10, 15 years are operated and run solely by the single black queens. Single women taking on all these pressures. Raising a kid, that's a whole nother job title. You feel what I'm saying? And so to be able to do that, and to do that by yourself has to be extremely stressful. And the reason why I'm saying that, you have about 66 to 70% of the black homes run by single mothers, which means that you have roughly 60 to 70% of the homes having young boys and young girls being raised by themselves while the mothers is at work getting that money. Let me address this quote Boss Lady said. She said, hey, what's up, she the one? We are not taught to love one another. Instead, we are taught to value material things, be flashy. We base our worth in BS rather than family, education, and God. I want to give you kudos to that, Boss Lady, because you hit it right on the head. Because to be honest with you, if you read Dr. Amos Wilson's book, or go to YouTube, anybody who has YouTube, go and check out YouTube. Okay, Bianca Sear said, I think the lack of love, both love and awareness, self-love as loving kindness. Let's see what else you got to say there. Can be the catalyst to black on black violence. It definitely is the catalyst, and that's the whole point. You see, Dr. Amos Wilson and Dr. Francis Cress Welsing also said, if you go to my Instagram at Courage to Believe, or you go to my website, KevinDorival.com, you'll see that there's an Instagram post that I put up, and I also put on Twitter, that Dr. Francis Cress Welsing said, we don't recognize that we are being played chess while we're thinking it's checkers. Now, anybody who understands the game of chess, you understand it's a game of strategy. You have to think. And thank you, Bianca, for that comment on Facebook. I really do appreciate it. Please share this video as well. Wherever you're at and you watch this video, the system is playing chess. And if we don't shape up and begin to love one another, how do we begin to love one another? Because we can talk about the problems all day, all night. But how do we begin loving one another? We begin loving one another by, one, loving ourselves. Not loving ourselves so much where we are selfish. We have become selfless. Not selfish, but selfless. Once we become selfless and give, share some of the food we have. Share some of the money we have. When we see a brother or sister doing anything and they need a little support, they need a little word of encouragement, they might need a ride in the rain. Stop and give them a ride. You know, if I know you can't do that with everybody, I do understand that. You know, one day I gotta say this. One day, it was Christmas Eve. I was working at a restaurant, late shift, and it was raining. You know, it was raining, and this guy was walking in the rain. And I could see he was a black man. If he was a white man, I probably would have gave him a ride. Who knows? At the time, I was very generous. A lot more generous than I am now. Now I'm more like conscious and aware to, I need to support black businesses and black people by any means necessary. But back then, you know, I thought about it. I prayed as I was driving. I stopped the car in the rain and I asked him, hey man, you need a ride? And he happened to be a homeless guy. I can tell you he was homeless. But I wanted to do something nice for somebody, you know what I'm saying? So it could have got me killed. A young man just recently died. I don't remember his name, you know, forgive me. He was a soldier, a U.S. Army soldier. He died pulling over, helping someone, a pedestrian, or with someone who pulled over and was, you know, stuck on a car, and the white man opened fire and killed him. You know what I'm saying? For no reason, killed him. So we got to be mindful of those things. But back to the subject at hand, we have to learn to utilize our talents. We have to support one another by all means necessary. The reason why I did this video is because there's so many gorgeous black women here in Atlanta, Georgia, in Miami, and different cities around the country. And I read this article provided by Madame Noir. So if you guys read the blog Madame Noir, please give them a shout out, share this video, tag them on it, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all that good stuff. But in the article, it said that the best cities for single black women to live in are number one, Atlanta, 2, DC, San Francisco, Baltimore, Chicago, Charlotte, and also Los Angeles and a couple other cities were the best ones. Now in the comment section, they told a different story. And everyone agreed with what the article said, especially with Atlanta. But with Atlanta, there's so many gorgeous women and so many single mothers, it is mind-blowing. How is it that so many women stop asking for the hookup with black businesses? Yeah, support black businesses all the way. You right about that. You know, spend $4, you know, spend every penny that they're asking for, because you never know. You could be helping them, keeping their doors open. Thanks for that, Boss Lady. Hey, follow Boss Lady on Instagram, Boss Lady New York for life. You can follow her on Instagram. And if you have a Twitter, put it in the comment or in the Facebook. Definitely inbox me. I definitely need to talk to you. But we definitely need to support one another more often. But all these cities where these black women are single, raising children on their own, which reminds me to say something very important, which really invoked in me the spirit and the energy, because I'm definitely tired. But the energy to do this video was the fact that there are so many black young boys committing suicide. They are actually the #1 growing population of committing suicide from the ages of, the article says, from the ages of 5 to 11, and then you have a different rate from kids 12 to 14 years old committing suicide. Black boys are committing suicide in record numbers in 1 of 3 ways: strangulation, suffocation, and by jumping out of windows. I don't know why this is the case, but the article was saying that they don't know how to explain the stress that they're going through. Now, as parents and single mother, I grew up in a single home. As a matter of fact, let me show you a picture of my mom on this video. You got to go on YouTube to see this video. This is my mom right there, right? Queen Rosette Pierre. That's on the wall. Okay, I just had to show that right quick. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to the Queen Mother. She passed away 2008. From a cancer in her spine. And this is also, you know, Cancer Awareness Month, so definitely blessings to all the women and men who've lost their lives due to different types of cancer. You know, trust me, I miss my mom. Everybody knows me, I'm a mama's boy, you know. But she was everything to me. She raised me. My father didn't raise me. My father wasn't there, you know, and it made me want to become a better man. But not all young men and women grow up to aspire to be better than that missing parent. Now, these young boys don't understand, and are not seeking professional help. They're talking to people. They're putting little signs out there on social media, but they are not seeking professional help. Now, they're committing suicide. Now, let me tell you these numbers here. According to BBC News, there's some from deep state of loss and social isolation, social isolation, easier access to death tools such as guns and drugs. So they have more access to guns, more access to drugs. Why is that? Because the mom and dad is not home raising them. The internet, their phones and social media and TV, YouTube is raising them. World stars raising them. These music videos are raising them. And so they don't really have that person to check in on them that they can give off that stress to, to a parent that, hey son, come talk to me. I remember when I was a kid, sometimes my mom was home because she worked about 2-3 jobs sometimes. She'd be home waiting on not just me, but my siblings, waiting at the door, knowing that school just got out. So she's waiting at the door with a big smile on her face. And I remember this one time, out of all the time she was waiting on us to get home. This particular time, I think I got home last because I used to run track and football in middle school. The first time I got high. The very first time I got high, I was like 15 years old. Actually, the first day I got high was the first day I lost my virginity. True story. You can read that in my first book, Courage to Believe, which is behind me right here, the orange book, with the line in the front. And this was an inspirational autobiography about how God helped me overcome adversity. So I speak at many schools and churches and community centers telling my story about how I was able to overcome adversity and actually focus and have my goals manifest. Now I get home, I'm high, I just lost my virginity, I'm feeling good and I'm starving, and I got my mom waiting out the door and I'm praying, I hope she don't smell the weed on me. Thinking my mom don't know how, hoping that she don't know what weed smells like. This is my first time getting high. But I know I smell like weed, I can smell it on me, right? So she had a big plate of food, waiting for me, on the table, covered and everything, and I ate good, took a shower, and went to sleep. Man, it was one of the best days of my life. But before I went to sleep, she asked me how my day was and anything interesting happened in school. And she didn't speak English that good. She couldn't even help me with my homework. But you know what? She cared enough to invest that time to spend with me and my brothers and sisters, Rubens, Darlene, and Guy, asking us how was school, what did we learn, was there anything that she can help us with? You know what I'm saying? She was heavily invested in that because she knew school was the way for us, education was the way for us to get out the hood. And this wasn't the projects. So big ups to all the single mothers who's doing their thing and doing a great job. Another thing I want to say that from the ages 5 to 11, the rate of suicide and suicide attempts and recorded suicidal thoughts has increased drastically since 1990. Every day there are 123 suicide deaths in the country. Did you know that? 123 people commit suicide every day. That's a spirit of death out there that we need to pray to God to find a solution to so we can solve that. Relationship issues in the family is another reason why that many of our youth are committing suicide. Maybe they're getting molested by someone they can't even talk about. They fear talking about it. They don't have no one to talk to. My girl Sabrina, up in South Florida, Sabrina Valborn, she is an awesome woman. She has a program, a nonprofit called Unspoken Bells, nonprofit mentoring group helping young girls. And I received the humanitarian award last year. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. But her nonprofit, you can find her on Instagram, find her on Facebook, inbox me or send me a message, and I'll send you her info if you want to donate to her campaign and what she's doing within the community. And she's doing something for all girls. There ain't no color lines. Straight girls, helping them understand the importance as young princesses and up-and-coming queens. I respect it so much, and I definitely want parents to take the time to speak to their kids, especially if you have a young black boy. If you have a young black boy in your home, a young black girl, but if you have a young black boy in your home, he has a lot of testosterone, right? He has a lot of masculine energy that definitely needs to be embraced and put towards a particular direction. Some girls have an abundance of energy more than others. So that's why you got to put them in sports. And even though you put them on a sports team, don't just trust them in the hands of the coach. Because some of these coaches, touching these boys. Some of these so-called conscious leaders, these business leaders in the community, some of them are touching our young girls and boys. And me personally, if I ever see that going on, or even think that's going on, and I find out that coach, that leader, whoever they are, that parent, they're molesting the child, they got to deal with King Kevin personally. And anybody know me, you know what time it is. And I'm not just talking about violence, so get this, I'm a very peaceful man. I'm very peaceful. But I do not play about people's kids. I don't play about my kids, my nieces and nephews, and my future kids. That is something that I truly, we believe that we have to be protectors of our children. Hey, what's going on? Embrace yourself coaching. How you doing, Queen? I definitely believe in that. I'm a true fan and believer in protecting our children. And the reason why I don't celebrate, a lot of holidays, particularly Halloween, is because a lot of sadistic, demonic rituals takes place on nights like this. There's a lot of witches out there praying right now, on whatever they're doing under the moon and all kind of rituals. You guys got to be mindful of that. I don't participate in that, so I'm not saying you guys shouldn't or that you're an evil person, but be mindful of these things. Make sure your children know, okay, we're going trick-or-treating, but we are not celebrating or we are not worshiping any demonic spirits. We're not entertaining that. At least tell them that, because they are warlocks and witches, and that is real. I have met a couple myself personally over the years, and a couple people try to put a curse on me, but they don't know I'm a child of Most High God, so either backfired or just didn't faze me. Look at me now. I'm 28. I wish I was 28. I'm 38 years old, doing my thing, and nothing is stopping me. No haters. And oh my God, I almost forgot to mention. If you are watching this video, get a Sheen magazine. You can go to the website or go to your local urban community store, hair salon store, pick up a Sheen magazine. They have a picture of me. They have a whole article featuring me in my book, 7 Types of Queens, King Desire. As a matter of fact, when I did the interview with them, I was in my producer's studio and getting ready, making plans to shoot the film we just shot. 7 Types of Queens, King Desire, short film, romantic comedy. Which you guys, if you follow me on social media, you see that it's everywhere. You see that that we just finished the film. Thanks for everybody who took part. Everybody from Crane, Nakia, who was the PA, personal assistant, all the actresses. You have Queen Nzinga, who we named in the film. Those who don't know who Queen Nzinga is, played by Angela. We had also Arnelia Waters, thank you for being a part of it. We also had Madison. We had Travis Wright, who's a great singer as well. Check him out. He has a new album coming out. We also had Jeff Cherry, flew in from New York. Sister Masai, Queen Masai, flew in from London with her mom, flew in from New York. It was a blessing. Everybody came through. Who I'm forgetting? We had little Hannah came through. We had the kid Kelsey and her brother Khalid came through to play beautiful role. Who am I forgetting? Oh yes, can't forget Bello was on the scene. We had brother Brian on the scene, brother BK, and did I forget anybody else? Of course, I can't forget Tammy Walker, who was there. Also, thanks for everybody who part of the Ferrari Club, who allowed us to film during a car show, and it was a blessing. It increased the production value. Those of you who know about GoFundMe, definitely support. Hey, trick or treat, get no play at your house. Hey, I started to put a sign on my door, trick or treat. There's no Halloween here, but I didn't want to kill the kids' spirit. You know what I'm saying? The kids are adorable. I love kids. I didn't want to do anything to trample, step on their joyful spirit. That's not what I'm about. So I just kind of left that alone. But yeah, I would have probably give them a peppermint or something. If I had money, shoot them their parents some money. But definitely, you guys protect the kids, man. Let's increase the love in our community. And I want to also mention something else. We do have a GoFundMe, so check out my website, KevinDorival.com. The GoFundMe is on the homepage. It's on all my social media links. All my social media bios, you will see the GoFundMe link there. All my posts, you'll see hashtag 7 Types of Queens movie, or just 7 Types of Queens. You'll see it there. You know what I mean? I'm definitely on the grind. I thank you. And also Voyage ATL magazine. They also have me an article about me in their magazine. Both articles came out today. So I guess they wanted to come out before November 1st, which is cool. Pick up a copy, take a picture, tag me on it. I'm gonna pick up a copy. They have a few copies mailed to me, And you know, I'm just excited. You know, coming to Atlanta was a dream come true. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that right quick before I close out. Also, I want to say there's the amount of wedlocks, babies out of wedlock is crazy, and you got to ask yourself. You know, NAACP, Urban League, and all these different organizations who are for, you know, for the betterment, empowerment of the black community and the urban community as a whole, to be politically correct. Why aren't they investing more money into building more successful relationships in the black community, which is the core of the issues that's going on right now, is the lack of love within the black community. So I posed that question, I pose it again. Which one's the bigger issue? Lack of black love, or the but the abundance of black on black violence within our community? Which one is bigger? So I definitely want you guys to drop your comments here, share this video if you see it, you know, give me a shout out. I'm King Kevin. I'm here. I'm a general in the community, general on the streets. I live life. If you know my story, you know I was getting money as a crook at once upon a time, and I'm getting money by the book and helping other people understand how to get it by the book. I am a mentor, author, filmmaker, and I changed my life. I'm still searching for a queen, a particular type of queen that will be beneficial to what I'm doing and what I'm building. You know, because it's definitely important that we definitely invest in our youth, definitely invest in the kings and queens in our community who are doing things that are for the betterment of our community. You know, 7 Types of Queens, King's Desire book and the film is celebrating, it's edifying, it's empowering us to get in more committed relationships. A friend of mine, Gabriel Jackson, who was part of the panel of the Golden Love relationship panel that I had in Fort Lauderdale, which was my last big event that I had in Fort Lauderdale, he just got engaged to his girlfriend. Just got engaged. I'm so proud of him. And he praises me about 7 Queens all the time. He praises me about the book all the time. And I'm just, you know, I'm honored the fact that, you know, he credits me, you know, for that. And which is really, I don't take the credit. God gets all the, you know, the glory. I just want the victory. God can have all the glory. God, Lord, you can have all that. You know what I'm saying? You know, but praise God. God, you can have all that. Thank you, Jesus. You can have all the glory. I just want the victory. Give me the victory. Give me the power so I can make the changes here on earth now and forever. You know, and also a couple of friends of mine got engaged. Mitch, Money Mitch, and Big Stan. You know what I mean? Blessings to y'all in your new engagements. I wish these young kings many, many blessings. We need to seriously look at the love relationships in our community and make a change. Because if we don't change it, we're going to be stuck in this situation we're in now. We must change our situation. And only we can do it one heartbeat at a time. Or one heart at a time. You follow what I'm saying? So many blessings, peace. Thanks for everybody who's tuning in on Instagram, checking me out. How y'all doing? Facebook. This is go on YouTube. In order to love someone, must how to love themselves then the other. I definitely said that earlier. Self-love is definitely important. So blessings to y'all. God bless. See you soon. I gotta go. Got some moves to make. I've been out all day with meetings and meetings. I try to get, Obama's going to be at, you guys didn't know, President Obama's going to be at Morehouse College this Friday, but you got to have tickets, and the tickets are all given out. If you want to get tickets, I drive by 3 hours away, you know, in a certain part of Georgia to go get them, but they're going to be at Morehouse College, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. I plan on being there. You know, I came there.